Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with our midweek magic event deck, and for this week looks like we're jumping back into the best format that Wizards will not add to Arena, go figure, Historic Artisan. But in any case, let's go ahead and jump into the deck to show you what we are playing this week. We'll be playing a blue-white aggro deck where we are calling it Heroic Humans. The namesake will come from our two cards that came from the Explorer Anthology set, Favored Hoplite and Battle-Wise Hoplite. Both of them have the Heroic ability. As you can tell, right here for the first one, whenever you cast a spell that targets Favored Hoplite, you put a +1/+1 counter on the Hoplite and prevent all damage that will be dealt to it this turn. With Battle-Wise Hoplite, we're doing the same thing, except instead of preventing damage to it, we are allowing ourselves to scry for 1. So as you kind of figure, we're going to try to filter through our deck as quick as possible to start stacking up as many spells as possible to either add onto them via either auras, or we'll be using some sorceries and instant spells to pump them up and force damage through. To give us a little bit of a backup plan, besides our two hoplites, we will also have Illuminator Virtuoso. I've talked many times about this in other deck texts, and you've already know what this card does. Start stacking it up with a bunch of stuff that targets this, and it starts conniving. When it starts conniving, put +1/+1 counters on it, and it gets bigger. Being that it also has double strike, it'll do an insane amount of damage and sometimes can get you the win out of nowhere. But again, we will still need a little bit of extra insurance to ensure that our deck can still go off. Selfless Savior, this cute little dog, allows us to sacrifice it when we need to give one of our target creatures indestructible until end of turn. As far as the rest of the spells in the deck are, it's mostly going to be a hodgepodge of stuff that pumps them either up, allows us to draw cards, put some counters on our creatures, and allow ourselves to be more evasive against our opponents. So cards like Defiant Strike, God's Willing, Guiding Voice, we have Homestead Courage, and Fly. Fly, real quick, I just want to say is highly underrated, especially with a creature with double strike. Put this, for example, on the Illuminator Virtuoso, and you sometimes might be able to even get 2 dungeon triggers off from 1 hit. And then we have Slip Out the Back and You See a Guard Approach. Both of these actually can work 2 different ways. With You See the Guard Approach, you can either tap down a creature, get it out of the way, and force through the remaining points of damage you need to get to victory, or you can also use Slip Out the Back, not only to either protect your creatures, or to phase out an enemy creature. Same thing, just like with You See the Guard Approach, to actually get a creature off of the battlefield so that way we can get to victory. As far as another way to help us stabilize, we will utilize Staggering Insight. This 2-mana blue-white enchantment aura allows our creature to get +1/+1 and give it lifelink. But of course the important part is whenever the creature deals combat damage to a player, we get to draw a card. For your land base, it's going to be pretty simple. An entire set of Tranquil Cove, 1 copy of Skybridge Towers, 3 islands, and 10 plains. And as far as the sideboard, we only have one because we are utilizing Guiding Voice. Single copies of Environmental Science, Reduced to Memory, Inkling Summoning, Spirit Summoning, 2 copies of Expanded Anatomy, and Introduction to Prophecy. Not much else really to say about the deck, except let's go ahead, we're going to jump into a couple of quick matches to show you how the deck is meant to be played. And if you are a fan of it, as always, I will leave up a quick little link in the description below, and you can see on screen right now how much the deck would cost you if you were interested in trying to build this and maybe consider upgrading in the future to something more powerful. But one more time before we get started, if you do like these videos, please make sure to give a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to see all the deck techs, booster pack openings, and so much more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get these matches started. And as always, if you've seen my videos before, I will go now on silence, so that way you can just enjoy the gameplay and see how awesome this deck is. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later!